Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. Today we're looking at all the things I purchased last month in August, but also all the donations that you guys sent to our YouTube channel, and companies also sent us some stuff for review, so there's lots of stuff to talk about. I'd like to thank anyone who donated stuff to our YouTube channel. This year I lost some work and I'm working part-time. Now this means I've got more time to make videos, which is awesome for us. However, it also means I've got less disposable income. Now it's not like I'm starving or anything like that, far from it, but you know what the prices are like on eBay. Some of the parts, it all adds up. It can be quite an expensive hobby. And also I live remote in Australia, so I always pay a premium with the postage. So you guys helping us out and sending us stuff for the YouTube channel, thank you so much. It helps me have more content ready to go for the future months, and yeah, big thank you. So let's get on with it. Let's check out these parts. And I bought a couple of PCI storage controllers. I recently reviewed the Promise Ultra 66 and that video was actually really well received. So I went out and bought a few more controllers. So the first one we have is the Ultra 100 TX2. This one is just a faster version, but it is also more compatible with more hard drives. I also hunted down the Ultra 133. However, I had difficulties finding one. Turns out Maxter did some OEM deals with this controller. So if you can't find the Promise version, just look for the Maxter version. It is the identical part. You just probably can flash even the Promise buys. We will find out because I can't wait to review this controller. And we also have a RAID controller. This is the Promise Fast Track 100 TX2. This can do RAID. I think it can do mirrored RAID and also striping, but I haven't looked into the details yet, but also looking forward, maybe doing a video about setting up a RAID array with Windows 98 or something like that. This one I bought off eBay. This is the HEP version of the NVIDIA GeForce 6200, and the main reason I bought this is so I can compare it with the PCI version. So I've got the PCI version of the GeForce 6200, and the plan is to benchmark them both, lock in the same clocks for the core and the memory, and just see what the difference is between PCI and HEP performance. And next up we have a donation. Thank you to Jonathan. He actually PayPal'd me around $70, and I thought long and hard of how to use that money, and I bought one of these. This is a high-speed compact flash card with 32GB from Alexa. It's rated at 120 megabytes per second, but testing in a USB 3 card reader, it actually does up to 140 megabytes per second. So this is now my fastest IDE drive. The compact flash cards, they are compatible with the IDE standards. You can just use a passive adapter. So this will come in very handy to benchmark those PCI storage controllers I showed you earlier. The other option would have been hunting down a very expensive high capacity IDE hard drive, and the reliability is not so great. And a lot of you commented and advised me to get a compact flash instead. So now I have one, so this will come in very handy. And I got a CPU cooler. I couldn't believe this. This is new in the box, untouched. It is the Salman CNPS 7700, the CU version. I believe that's the all copper version. Everything in the box, all the accessories are included. For socket 478, this is one of the best coolers out there. It is quite high performance. It can cool all your Pentium 4 Extreme Editions, Prescott, 3.4 gigahertz, all that stuff. And it was a fair price. I can't remember how much, but it wasn't much at all. So I had to buy it straight away. Okay guys, and we got a care package from Electramind. Those who don't know, I contacted them a while ago. I asked them, look, you guys selling old computer parts, I do videos on old computer parts, and why don't we work together? So the way it works, they sent me some parts. I basically listen to your comments, what you guys want to see, and I give them like a wish list basically. They sent me some stuff, I do a video about it. There's a link down below in the description, and I briefly mention them, and there's also a 20% discount voucher code. This works really well. It just means we have more stuff to do videos on, more content for you guys to enjoy, and keep those suggestions coming. I read every comment, so whatever you find interesting, I try really hard to either buy it or ask Electramind to send us something. They have sent us a lot of GPUs, so expect some video card reviews coming up shortly. This is the Radeon 9500. I've already done a video on it, soft modding it into a Radeon 9700, unlocking those dormant pixel pipelines. They also sent me some Rambus memory, 4 sticks of 256 meg, and they sell a lot of RAM, so expect some videos to do with RAM and memory in the near future, and also some cooling stuff. Thermal paste, thermal grease, they also sell a ton of these, so I will just be using those in my future videos. And guys, finally we have some Rambus stuff. This is a Pentium 4 motherboard with the Intel 850 chipset and of course the Rambus memory. A very interesting period of how Intel went about with choosing this memory technology. Very expensive, but also high performance, so I can't wait to do a video about this. Not quite sure what type of video it is. It's probably not going to be just a straight performance comparison, more like experiencing what Rambus is like, that type of a video. And the reason I got this one, I had a couple of options on eBay, but the reason I got this one is this one comes with socket 478, and that means I can use all the existing Pentium 4 chips that I already have. So I didn't have to go out and buy the socket 423 versions of all the chips I already have, so this saves me a lot of money. And this was a bundle. It came with a 1.4 gig Pentium 4. Didn't come with this cooler. This is one from StarTech. I just put a new cooler on there. It came with 2 128 meg sticks and also a video card. This is a GeForce 2 MX 400, I believe, but a special version from Asus. This is like a super clocked version. It's got very fast memory and should be quite an overclocking beast, so maybe I'll do a video on that. So yeah, super excited guys. Finally Pentium 4 with Rambus in the house, so that's really awesome. And next up we have a couple of donations. Thank you to Sage. So he had a couple of sound cards and some RAM, so we're going to have a quick look at what we have. So this is an ISA sound card with a chip from Crystal. So haven't had much experience with them. Usually I use stuff from Creative or the Audition 32 Plus or an ESS audio drive. So that will be interesting to see what this sound card is like. Also, if you recognize any of these parts and you've got something to say, just put it down below in the description. And we have another sound card. This one is for the PCI bus from Creative, the CT4810. But this is really just a rebranded, rebadged version of the Ensoniq audio PCI. They are nothing special, so it's not a card I would go out and hunt down. But if you have no other options, this is not a bad card. Performs all right in Windows, but all the stuff is done in software. And it's got an okay compatibility with DOS, but there are better options out there. But still, I already have a few of those, so I've got one more. So yep, not bad at all. This is another PCI sound card from Trident. It's got a chip from Trident. That's really interesting, and I'm not quite sure what this card can do. 4D Sound Pro, it says here. Line out, speak out. It's got a lot of inputs here, so that must be an interesting mixer. So yeah, I know very little about this sound card. If you do, let me know down below. And you also had some RAM. You can't have enough RAM. RAM is always useful. This is DDR2 memory, so something for the newer stuff with Core 2 Duo, but also Pentium 4 and socket AM2 Plus and all that stuff. And these are 4 modules with 2 GB each. So that's very cool. That means if it's a motherboard with 4 memory chips, we can take it all the way to 8 gigs of RAM and do some interesting projects. And we have a review sample from Banggood. They sent me the B-Link M1. It's a mini computer. I've used this in a video project recently, basically mounting this to the rear of the monitor and turning it into a MIDI emulator for DOS games. So you don't have to buy an expensive Roland module. You can run MIDI emulation and soft synth. We got to look at some specifications here, and really interesting how they packaged it. It gives you the impression that this is like an Intel Compute Stick product or something like that, but nothing to do with Intel. It does have Intel inside, of course. It comes with a Celeron Apollo Lake processor, and it also has an Intel Ethernet and Wi-Fi card and all of that. So if you want to know more about this product, there's a link down below in the video description to check it out. But yeah, thanks Banggood for sending us this device. The video was well received, and I really like these mini computers, and I really like how the performance is getting better and better each year. These Atom processors and Celeron chips, they're just getting faster and faster. And guys, we've got a very interesting motherboard. This is a type of motherboard that I've been missing in my arsenal. It's got the Intel 815 chipset, but it is Trident compatible. And the only boards I had that are with the 815 chipset and Trident compatible, they're like OEM boards, so nothing interesting to look at. Or chipsets coming from VIA, which are not as fast in some benchmarks. So I've already tested it. The brand is PC Partner, so probably not the top brand, but it worked. I didn't have any issues, so we will see what the performance is like on this motherboard. And we have a lot of processors. These are some Socket 370 CPUs. I bought some of them from Electramind, some of them come from eBay, so all over the place. I usually just try to find a good price. I've got other chips, Pentium 4 for the Socket 775 with the Cedar core. I can highly recommend them if you're trying to build a Pentium 4 system and you want something that runs a bit cooler. Check out the Cedar processors, and also some Core 2 quad processors for Core 2 quad CPUs and Core 2 dual CPUs. But that's more for the future, not, a little bit too modern for the moment, but definitely something I will be looking at in the future. And finally, guys, we have Slot A motherboards. Shout out to Shane from Overclockers Australia. So it turned out that he had some Slot A motherboards up for sale on eBay, and he had 2 of them. And I always get interested when I can get 2 motherboards, because that just increases the chances of one working. Basically, if a motherboard dies, you've got a second one. And also for benchmarking, if you've got a backup board, that keeps all the data consistent. So 2 motherboards from BioStar also came with 2 processors, an Athlon 700 and an Athlon 600. And yeah, really looking forward to finding out what performance they have. Stability was fine. I've tested both boards already, installed XP, so that worked great. The capacitors are all in good shape. Some of them are from Sanyo, Japanese capacitors, so really decent stuff. Not that cheap. It was fair value, but I had a look for quite a while, and there was nothing locally in Australia for a very long time. So I'm really happy that we finally have some Slot A motherboards on this channel. And we have another review sample from IcyDoc. So the way this works, they contact me, they say, look, we've got this product, are you interested in checking it out in a video? And as a reward, you get to keep it. And IcyDoc was actually the very first company that contacted me on my YouTube channel and asked to do some product reviews. So I actually had a choice of a couple of devices, but most of them weren't really suitable for this channel and what you guys are interested in. But I think you will find this one interesting. So this is a device for the 5¼ drive bay. However, you can install, let me just get this bracket out, you can install a 3½ device. So if you only have a single bay in your case, you can do this. So you have 2 bays for 2½ quarter drives, so SSDs or hard drives, plus a floppy drive. Or instead of a floppy drive, you can put in a fan controller or USB 3 bay or something like that. So really nice option, because I can see a trend with modern cases of having less and less front bay devices. So that could be an interesting way to double up your drive bays. Or with a mini ITX build, for example, I've got a mini ITX PC, it's only got a single 5¼ drive. I can live without the optical drive, but floppy drive, you gotta have one for DOS. It's just part of the experience. And we have another motherboard. Little shout out to Everett from the Facebook group. He absolutely hates Jetway motherboards. So when I saw this, and it was ridiculously cheap, I think I made an offer and it was like $20, including shipping or something. It was really cheap, so I just had to get it. So it comes with the box. It's a Pentium 4 motherboard, but there's also some other stuff included. One of these IDE rounded cables, some more, what have we got here? Floppy IDE ribbon cables. And one of the older, this is the 40 pin wire cable. That's also interesting. We got the driver disk for the motherboard. It comes with a GPU. What have we got here? That's it must be a Radeon 9250. So yeah, nice, always handy. HEP interface. So comes with the manuals and everything. And it's a good old Pentium 4 motherboard for the Socket 478 with the Intel 865 chipset, which is my favorite. Looks a little bit dusty. Oh, also comes with some RAM, so that's nice. And what's this? Okay, that's just some stuff here for the North Bridge cooler. The socket retention thing is missing, but that's really easy to get. The capacitors are in bad shape. Most of them are still fine, but a couple of them have popped and are bulging, so that could be an interesting video for maybe some recapping. But yeah, I'm a sucker for Pentium 4 stuff. I know there's a lot of hate out there, but I really love Pentium 4 stuff. The 865 chipset especially is super stable, compatible with Windows XP. You can put Windows 98 in it, so there are so many options. And with retro prices, yeah, just going up because the community is growing. We are growing. You know, more people are getting into this hobby, so you got to look for some other options. And it's got really nice SATA controllers, so you can use modern SSDs and SATA optical drives. And yeah, definitely check out Pentium 4 stuff. Even if you're not too keen on them, I think they're going to become very popular in the next few years. And finally, we got some donations from Morgan. He lives locally and he dropped off 2 desktop computers. So again, not quite sure what type of video I'm going to do. Maybe just turning it on, seeing what the specifications are like. Maybe a cleaning up video. I'm probably not going to keep the cases, but I'm definitely after all the parts. So I had a quick look already, but I don't know if they work. The one on the left, of course, is a Pentium 4 HEP based. Not quite sure what processor, so we will definitely find it out. This one is more interesting. This is a slot 1 motherboard with a Pentium 3 CPU, so that is always very awesome. I also really like this optical drive for some reason. Firstly, because it's black, but also because it's got the buttons for the audio controls, as well as a volume dial and a headphone port. So hopefully it works. But yeah, can't tell you too much at this point, but stay tuned for a video. And also, let me know what type of videos you might be interested with these desktops. I'm very flexible, so whatever you guys are interested in, I can make it happen. And there you have it, guys. These are most of the parts that made it to our YouTube channel in August. A few bits and pieces. Some of them have arrived in the last few days, and some of them I want to keep under wraps, basically, and yeah, surprise you more or less. Big thank you to anyone who donated stuff to our channel. It helps a lot. And also thank you for all the companies who are sending us stuff to do review videos. It's always a bit of a slippery slope with review samples, but those who've been watching me for a while, hopefully you can pick up that I'm trying really hard to make the videos of interest and relevant to you. So I'm not just doing a review on like the B-Link mini PC. I'll try to think of a project that relates to retro computing and that is actually useful, saves you some money, or has some other interesting aspect. If you've got any questions about any of these parts, let me know. Most of them I've already tested, but not everything, so there's always the chance that something doesn't work, but usually I have very little issues with DOA stuff or things like that. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. That's always nice. Hit the like or the dislike button. Leave me a comment down below. Share the video with your social media. And that's it. I shall see you soon with another video.